Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and we're going to be playing some more Factorio today. We'll be continuing. Just going to tweak my mic because I knocked it before the stream. Yeah, I'll do. We'll be playing some more vanilla, completely fresh, untouched Factorio as a kind of farewell to the version 1, which has provided me with literally thousands of hours of entertainment. So, has the other sort of added benefit of refreshing me as to what exactly goes on in Vanilla Factorio, because it's been a long time since I played it, and it'd be good to know what it's all about, or refresh myself as to what it's all about before we play version 2/Space Age, which is coming in October. However, just to start the stream off, as per usual, a reminder of what the most, or a note as to what the most recent Friday Facts was, which was Friday Facts 421, Optimizations 2.0, which was all about a whole series of small optimizations for things like logistics robots and, an attempt to do the energy network and failing, and belt readers, the tweak to that, and the lamps thing. So yeah, a whole bunch of little tweaks to the game to improve, to optimize it further. Yeah, so let's crack on with it then. So you need to see that. Let's work in there. I have loaded up, but we literally have not done anything. I am stood by an assembler, which has a inserter on, just to remind me that that's what we need to build next. Yeah, just as I say, I haven't touched it since last week, which is, of course, deliberate. So we do have a nice iron patch there and there, with some biters just in range. How close are we to getting a car? That's the big question. Is this able to do any more research? It is not. So we should probably go and chuck something in there. But we do need to set up a little bit of automated research, I would suggest. We have some oil there and there, but some biters over there. Okay, so I don't see any... Oh, well, there's a tiny copper patch there, but I don't see any outpost-style copper patches. Okay, let's go and hand feed a little bit of whatever that needs in. What does it actually need? Let's have a quick look. Oh, everything, basically. So it's got nothing. Okay, how about we do a big old run up here. Just grab loads and loads of stuff. Probably more iron, I would suggest. More iron if we can. Yeah, okay. And we go and chuck all of that in. I would quite like to get a car fairly soon. That does mean making engine units and stuff, so it's not soon. But we'll get over there. And then I'll plop in... How many are we doing on power anyway? Bit of headroom, bit of headroom. Okay. So, let's put in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. This needs, say, 1, 2, 3, 4. And even all of them off. Oh, okay, so that should chug away. Do I actually need inserters? It might be worth just stealing what we've got here, given it's got a bit of green science stacked up. We will also get a car. Oh, I need what? Lucky 2, okay. Get a car queued up. Is this the only thing making... No, I don't think this is making our only gun food, is it? Let's turn that off. We have gun food over here? We do. Okay. Excuse me. I'm just wondering about sneaking a little turret in there. We don't really need to, do we? It'll advance more quickly across the water, which means they could be affected, but that seems pretty unlikely, doesn't it? I think just because of its high value, we will pop in a turret with a little bit of gun food, just in case something comes for a little nibble. What else are we doing? Belts all look backed up in terms of... do they? Raw resources. Maybe I could add on... Oops, wrong miners. Couple here, maybe? Just to give us a bit of future-proofing. And boop. Okay. Should I build this second one? We're not struggling at all for that, are we? What I might do, if it can reach, is just give this a little bit of access to... Oh no, of course that's all the way over there, isn't it? Maybe I will move that up slightly. In fact, let's put it here. And then we will literally copy and paste so that I don't mess up the orientation. We need a couple of long-handeds. And have we got assemblers? I don't think I've got any on me, although I think we are now making weights and stuff. Ah. Well, I've got that in the wrong place then, haven't I? In fact, maybe we flip it around. No. How did I manage that then? I think that's badly positioned full stop, isn't it? You've maybe just chucked it in. Why don't I put it there then? I can't, because then it wouldn't be able to reach the iron. I'm making a bit of a meal of this. Right, so that gets it iron on both sides, is basically the point. Oops. There we go, and then I can put... Oh, we've got heavy armour, that's why. Okay. Yeah, cool. Blimey. Let's have a stock up if we can. So I have not put any wood in there for a while. Lots of lovely belts. Excellent. Grab them. I think I might set that a little higher. Cool. Do we have... We'll just carry a stack of furnaces. I'm not going to bother with grabbing them, but there we go. Lots of lovely assemblers. Another stack of miners, just so we need to expand. Okay, so next then is inserters. Do I want to just go straight to fast inserters? I mean, I kind of can't, because what I was thinking about was just basically siphoning some off to make... Yeah, let's do it that way. So perhaps if I make this... So if we put a... If this is fast inserters, and then we could put that there, say. Because what I'm thinking is we can have a regular inserter there, one there as well. These guys can just, whoops, feed over. Because we want long-handed as well, really. Like that. And then I've got a little bit of room here to just sort of siphon off some regular ones. But we'll put them in a box for now. Because I think we'll probably just do red and science like that, basically. For the time being. Oops. Until we want to build something a little more permanent. Yeah, so that needs to be there. Just a stack of them. Just a stack, oops. Just a stack of them. Put some sauce, light on that. Yeah, I'm out of lights. Guess I'm not building lights yet. Plan really, so I want to get car, but the plan really is to kind of just make sure this mini manufacturing hub is making everything we've researched, because we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We do not have military. Or rather, we do not have grenades, rather, I should say. They must be in there, are they then? Okay. It's only a cheap one. So let's Stick it in the middle. And we can extend our path. I was after the grenades because I was going to take out the trees. With your granatas. But we ain't got none yet. We ain't got none. Oops. So we've got quite a few things to build, so get that ready. Did I make them lights? I did. Now, what do you need? You need douche, douche, douche. Okay. Which means did inserters, ironically. Let's see, you want gears, which is yellow. Don't see much iron coming. I guess everything's just using it all up. Iron and circuits, okay. Need more of them, don't they? Oops. There. And we can have those, look at that. And then your green circuits and wheat as well. With them. Eventually, of course, medium poles will cover that, so I won't need the second one. But yeah. You do need iron plate, and you do need iron plate. Okay. Those, okay. So, since iron plate is struggling, let's go and see why that is. Is it just literally... yeah, not enough. Or because I've not actually built this in. Okay. How is power doing again? Might want to extend that a little bit. So we don't run out. Oops. We can actually get something in here, can't we? Very power hungry miners. No, don't know why I did that. Okay. Do. Wondering out maybe doing a bleed off. And making sure the priority is that way, so we don't rob steel, but so this is fed in, because we're obviously doing 2 lanes, but then it's not really balanced. Is it that one that's going... That one's the inside, so this is just the circuits. Okay, no, it's not. So, how about... do a little bleed off. A little bleeder. We say make sure you go right. But anything got left over, send it here as well. Not ideal because it will preferentially use that up, but that's fine. Okay, so hopefully I can take these out. Oops. Not got anything left. Copper's all full and fine. Do. Okay. So hopefully that will help out. We could also take a bleed off here. I mean, it's a solid line coming in, isn't it? No. And we're a long way off doing enough furnaces. 32. Yeah, we need quite a few. But we have that issue. How many could I just squeeze in? certainly get one more in. Oh, you know, another sort of set there. Belt's going on. You'll have to work around the cliff then, or do a U-turn. U-turn. Dogleg, rather. That's right in a minute. Oh, hello, Sunday. Good Sunday, good Sunday. Hello to you, hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good Sunday as well. That was out of resources already. Okay. So it's a bit more coming in. It's still not a full lane really, is it? But then it wouldn't be. It's short. Do I steal some from this line? Because the slight irony of that is it will then, you know, use even more of this, basically. Well, we use that, basically. And that's probably not coping. So, I think if I do... Yeah, let's do that. But what I'll do... use a similar sort of prioritization thing. So, make sure it goes that way down to the circuits. But if there's any left, stick it in there. And this will preferentially... not input, output. Preferentially use that stuff. Okay, so... lovely full belts of iron now. Excellent. Yep, doing well, thank you. And you? Yeah, I'm doing really well actually. I spent this morning working on the script for this, you know, like combat military video that we're talking about. I didn't really say it yesterday, but I was a bit worried that the update was going to be, the Friday Facts this week was going to be military. And so the work I already put into it would have been rendered, you know, pointless basically. I could still have put the video out, but it, you know, it's very much, it's obviously speculation, so it's me, you know, this is what I think will happen. And so then, well, oh, we've still got that one on, haven't we? So I don't really need that one if I've added it up here. And I guess we can give that a thing there. Lots of lovely ammo. Excellent. I might just punch a few of these trees. Yes, I've been working on the video. As it's turning out, I mean, it's a monster. It's because I've gone in... It's weird. I mean, it would actually kind of work as almost like a tutorial for current combat. Because one of the things with combat... we've actually said it on this stream a few times. There's loads and loads of weapon systems in the game. You know? When you actually look at what's in there, there's loads of them. You know, there's loads of capsules and, you know, explosive versions of stuff and uranium versions of stuff. And it's like, I kind of want, what I wanted to do was just do a sort of a quick analysis, and actually it's turning out to be anything but quick, of all the stuff that we've got, and then that would point at gaps in the same way that, you know, when we look at, I didn't add that power, did I? When we look at something like missiles, you know, we've got missiles as a system in the game, but we've never had a missile turret other than Spidertron. So adding in the... Yeah, I could sneak around the back now, couldn't I? Rather than, don't necessarily need to run all the way over. So, you know, the fact that they've added a missile turret is like a good kind of guide from that point of view of types of things that they might put in. But to do that, I wanted to do a run-through of everything that we've got. And as you know, me being me, I start blathering on about what the systems do and what the intent of them is and all this sort of stuff. And so that's ended up being, I think the script at the moment is 25 pages, and that's like 16 of them. And that's without me really having talked enough about the new things we might get. So yeah, but it's a good approach, because then it lets me say, well, you know, that means... Oh, I didn't pick up the things, did I? The boilers and stuff. Good to hear. Worried. I was disappointed it wasn't a bit. I have to say I'm pleased it wasn't. If it means a monster speculation video, it's not right. Yeah, so I mean that I'm I want to find out about it. It's not I'm sure you get the point, but it was more like I'd quite like to get the video out and then be proven wrong rather than sort of I don't really want that money, do I? Rather than how to phrase it. Yeah, put the video out and then it's art, because if it's after the fact, then it's a weird video, because if it's after the fact, because it's like saying, well, these are the things I think are coming up, and we already know what's coming up. So it's like, what's the point of it in a sense? But yeah, I should be able to get the combat one done, I think. I've actually got tomorrow off on leave. And I'm going to the cinema to see Deadpool Wolverine, but then I can spend the afternoon then, because that's just in the morning. I can spend the afternoon then recording it, and then I've just got the edit. I might even try and do what they call B-roll footage, which is actual captures from in the game. So, trouble is, I don't know. I don't really have a save file I can use. But yeah, like so, for example, where I'm talking about captures, just actually show them on screen, basically. Being used and all that sort of stuff. Maybe use the editor or something like that. That might be an idea. But yeah, might get fancy with it. But worst case, I'll just bring up the wiki. But yeah, so I really want there to be Friday Facts on combat and biters. But say maybe in a couple of weeks' time after I've done my video. I've barely used most military things in Factorio 1.1 just because a big production of laser turrets and robots to repair walls just works. It'd be very nice to get some more specific requirements against specific enemies, so we're forced to do some exciting things. I think that's kind of what I'm going to be speculating about. Hello, Lactose Incarnate. That's a great username. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't give us anything regarding enemies until like the second to last Friday Facts, if at all. Yeah, I would agree. And to some extent, a bit like Senna, I'm sort of really, really keen. Saying I'm really, really keen to see it because I'm, interested in what that side of the thing is, particularly given the teasers we've had. But equally, I'd love to just go into the game not knowing what was going on. Just suddenly, I always remember when I first played the game, I didn't even know there were, I kind of figured there were combat things because I could see, I had a pistol sort of thing. But I was literally just bimbling away, trying to work out how to set up boilers, and suddenly these monsters all ran up, and I've still got 2 boilers left. What have I done there? Well, these monsters ran up and started chewing on me, and basically killed me. And I was like, "What the heck is going on there?" And so yeah, finding out in that way is always kind of fun, Managed to take 5 with me with the intention of putting 5 down, and actually only put 3 down because maths. Okay, so have I got any pipe on here? Okay, so that should give us a little bit of headroom, and we can get all these buildings added. They've been dancing around it an awful lot. Yeah, I mean the other thing I think, let's be frank here. We had several Friday Facts where, like the Glee Bar stuff, and the graphics weren't finished. They hadn't made them, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of the graphics that the biters aren't done. That the concept is there and it works in code, and you can fight them and what have you. But it's maybe just a picture that floats along. Concept art picture. It's not an actual, actual biter that you could, say was. What you would expect to see in the game. So I wonder if that's what one of the things they've been holding off on. Okay, starting to get actual resources we can actually use to actually build things. Okay, how many belts? Yeah, loads of belts, slowly. Do that. Oh, I didn't need all of them. Why did I grab a stack? I'll top that one off. Okay, nice. Now, What are we going to build next then? So we've got inserters. I guess I should probably put in steel chests. Do that. I don't know why I put my light there. Do lights as well. Yeah, let's upgrade chests for when we get trains and etc. Boop, and then put that there. So that just needs to grab steel. That's already capped. Oh, it's too far away. Right. Cap that. Cool. Okay. What else? So we got belts. We got. I could just hand make them. I already did pipes, lights. Let's put some lights in. Did I put a thing making power poles? That's a question. Because I probably didn't. Let's make some power poles then. Okay. I might just tweak this box. That's why I punched those trees, but then I forgot to do anything with them. Right, let's do a little tweak here. And... oh, looks like I've gone rogue with power poles. That's why it didn't fit at that other end. Okay. So let's put that there. Connect that again. So if your boxes... that's the problem. That should be there. That makes more sense. Okay. So if that's boxes, then we can then put... do that. That can be the... oops. Sort of wooden dump area. Always got to worry about a wooden dump. Quite dangerous. Cut that. And then make sure it's got something in it. Yeah, let's have them. Put some wood in there. So you've got wood now. And then chest there. This feels a lot like when I was doing the whole blueprint series. Coming up with a little base that would make all these basic ingredients. And then... excellent. Cool. Indeed. Yeah, I mean, so we know very... I mean, we don't even know... I keep saying this. The old floaty alien with the big brain, that was presented as a concept. That wasn't actually presented as something as that's... we've never seen it in the game. We don't know that it made it in. But yeah, we know there's something that stomps. What the heck could that be? It tells us absolutely nothing. Something in that gets that I think I can't remember what the phrasing was for the lava one, volcanoes one rather. Stirs deep in the planet or something silly. So something there. And then what else have we had? Obviously we've had the weird dead biter corpses on the space platform. Don't know what that's about. Everyone's convinced that's placeholder graphics. I'm not convinced by that. Is that about it? Obviously we've had the missile turret and the selective targeting and saying that that's important. That's about it really. Oh, I've got one in there as well. Indeed, I just tried to use ChatGPT to find the sentence in Volcano's Friday Facts about something being awakened, and it somehow failed. It was quite early in Friday Facts 386, but it said it was at the end of Friday Facts 387. Quote was wrong, and nothing about enemies at the end of 387. Chat, I wouldn't... I don't know if you're just playing about with that for fun, but ChatGPT is... I could go on a big long rant if you like. It's not really what people think it is, ChatGPT. It really isn't any kind of search engine. It's all large language models. What they're trying to do is present text in a way that looks like it's been written by somebody. And I know that's a very weird bit of phrasing, but that's like the point. Because they aren't... people tend to think that they are like knowledge-based searches, and they really aren't. It's just literally, taking something like a Google search and like presenting it as if it's written, which is why it comes up with all these utterly wrong things about, pregnant women should smoke 50 cigarettes a day and stuff, because it's taking something off a Reddit where somebody was making a joke. Because it's not actually intelligent, it doesn't understand context. And so it's just rephrasing it as if it was as if someone was writing it. And that's all a large language model attempts to do. It is not a search engine. It is not a knowledge base, basically. What you really want is a large language model fed by another type of AI, but they don't tend to do that step. They just throw loads of words at it and get it to understand how words, language works. And then that's it. The bit that is the giving it the intelligence is just not there. I've used it so much for both for programming, but also chatting about all kinds of things and testing its abilities. In many cases, quite amazing, but in many others, it fails spectacularly. It even lies sometimes. I've tested the lying extensively, and this is again the thing. It's one of the problems with it. It isn't lying. What it's doing is it's generating text that is believable as a written response by a human being. Yeah, so humans lie. So it's just mimicking that thing. It doesn't have intelligence, so it can't lie because it doesn't know what lying is. It's not designed to do that. You, as a human, interpret it as lying. And I say that's the problem with it, because it's not what you think it is. So yeah, but say they're often very convincing, as if it's like the Turing test thing. It's like you used to be able to fool like Turing test, get AI type things to fool Turing test because they wouldn't write things properly, basically, and they wouldn't look back for context in their own messages and things like that. And so it defeats that side of it. But when you ask it questions that you know the answer to, and what it should do, as a person, as it were, we'd probably do, is just say, I don't know anything about that. That's not, I don't know anything about that topic, sort of thing. But instead, it's sort of the way it's set up usually is to be like an authoritative source on kind of all things. So that probably needs a fast one, doesn't it? As if it was a search engine. It's a fascinating topic, and they are, amazing at times, but it's just, they aren't a reliable source of information. So you're better off usually. Things like when it's summarizing text, they could be quite good at that sort of stuff, because, all it's doing is taking that language and condensing it, but even there, it doesn't understand significance and meaning, because it's not designed to. Anyway, that was interesting. Fair enough. I say it's not, they're tools to play with, but don't ever think it's doing anything useful. Okay, so we've got lights now, and we need, I guess, got lining drills ready. I guess repair packs I should make. Oops. Yeah, so it's just use it, knowing what it's doing or not doing, basically. That's kind of the key, really. Okay, so those two. It was actually a good sort of cartoon on. I can't remember where it was from, but basically the joke was, scientists saying we taught this dog to speak, and then CEOs basically responding saying, "Great, I've fired my entire workforce. When can it start?" It's like it isn't the same thing. It's an amazing thing, but it's not doing and that's a lot to do with that's that whole thing of people in the tech industry basically just overselling what they do. So we've got repair packs. We've got mining drills already. Do we want any other military stuff? I guess I could automate a bit of shotgun ammo. Might help with the trees before we get whatchamacallits. But really we need like walls, gun turrets, radars, don't we? Okay. Righty ho, righty ho. shotgun. Oops. Oh, not a powerhouse. Let's go and grab whatever it's made. It reminds me of Bluetooth, where so many things start to throw in AI just because it sounds cool, even though it makes little to no sense, like a coffee cup with Bluetooth. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's the buzzword, as it were, so people, like to use it, but as you say, in the context of what it is good for, it is good. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, although there are some questions to ask about the resource efficiency of using it, but the power demand, etc. But yeah, it's that people have got the wrong end of the stick because your tech bros have basically overclaimed what it can actually do. How about we do maybe gun turrets next? Right. I love this, just being able to go and grab the thing we want. So on iron, copper. Gears. Excellent. And then, whoops. Guess walls. Yeah. Maybe I'll do radar first. Doot. 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 Okay. And I think we're then making everything, so we can go over. Maybe actually start a bit more significant science. Viewer stack. Let's make plenty of that. Give it a fast inserter. Maybe a couple. So I'm not really doing anything else with bricks. And then you need circuits. Gears and iron plate, was it? Yeah. It is weird. So I've kind of gotten used to a lot of the sort of more complicated recipes in the various expansions, and it's kind of weird that a lot of this stuff, really does use very basic stuff, and it's all basically identical, So it's weird. It's sort of weird getting, realizing I'm, what do you call it, habituated to doing more complicated recipes a bit. Well, I don't think they're changing much in Space Age, are they? I'm sure the big one is obviously the rocket control units going, and only using blue circuits instead. But there are quite a few recipes that do use. Quite a few. A couple of recipes that do use RCU. So it could be interesting if all of those are now blue circuit recipes, because that'll make them quite a lot cheaper. Okay, I don't think I need more ammo really, do I? So, this is all tapped out. Get to them. Power's lovely. Producing. Excellent, so we have that. Cool. Now, let's have a look at what this science is actually... Oh, it's not doing anything, because it's run out of stuff. Okay, let's do a proper bit of science then. The question then is, do I set that up as a separate thing, or do I just siphon it off? Because we actually have quite a nice little area here where we could do a sort of a mini red and green science production area, I think. But then I was going to siphon off here, wasn't I? So maybe we pop it in here. Yeah, let's do that then. Oops. Yeah. I was trying to do an N then, because of SpaceX and the whole remote map view thing. Right, and I still don't have grenades. But where there are shotgun shells, who needs grenades? So maybe if I perhaps put a box there, which we're going to use more of. I guess we're going to use more of the long-handeds, aren't we? So if we put them in a box so that it sort of fills up, then these are the ones we can siphon off. So, and then what I'm thinking is I'm not gonna. Am I gonna? No, I'm not gonna do like 6 machines or anything. How about we do? Oops. Power poles here, maybe. So if you give it a bit of gap. Have that right in the middle of them. 3. So yeah, we'll just do a couple of greens. It's more about feeding them reliably than anything else at this stage. In fact, do I want to make it so that... Yeah, we'll have the... output. Clicks right there. Put lamps on. Go that way. And then we want to grab undies as well. Now we're going to siphon them out. Could just do a separate build. Not undies, regulars, aren't they? If I do maybe... Oops. I can have a bit of iron coming that way. Put... Oh, no, it does need to be. I guess it needs to be a bit further up, but we'll put the belts on there. Just a single gears. Right. Cool. And then I need to hook this up to some iron. So, that maybe. What are your thoughts on SpaceX overall? I've been trying to finish my playthrough before the expansion launches, but it really feels like a trial of will at times. I've been enjoying it. I mean, it's literally my first time playing it. And I've made mistakes in the sense of how I've done it, what I should have done. And I think it was because the scale of, like, getting into space was kind of intimidating, basically. So the amount of kind of, how do you phrase it, like work, as it were. I'm actually just wondering, because you're mostly not doing anything, are you? And that's more than supporting it. So I'm wondering maybe I could put the red on here. Because I only want a couple, don't I? When I've got... So if there's 6 seconds, maybe we do 3, and then don't bother if it's not running properly. Yeah, the sort of... it was almost... There's like an element of being intimidated by it, in a sense. What I could also do is make this half and half lane. How would I do that in a nice way? So yeah, I kind of over prepared and stuff like that. You know, which I shouldn't have quite done. So no, oops, we want that to be. That was there. That needed to feed onto that. So gives it a half and half. Yeah, something like that. And so I sort of over prepared, you know, went a bit mad with getting the base up and running and having separate production areas and all sorts of stuff like that. So I'm not really as far into it as I kind of should be, if that makes sense. I've been enjoying it, as I say. I don't think I'm far enough in to really give a kind of a proper, like, review of it, essentially. But I have been enjoying it. Let's do some weirdness. That'd be on the wrong side, though, wouldn't it? So maybe super weirdness. That can be on the right. That'll be on the right side. But very, very weird. I can't do that one. So yeah, I like the concept of it. Definitely, I think if it is the model, you know, for Space Age, then, you know, I think I'm going to enjoy Space Age. I love some of the, like, conceptual things in it. So, like, and I haven't. This is the problem. I haven't really got to these, but like the space elevator and all sorts of ideas like that, I think are really going to would be interesting to play with. But as I say, I think there's a bit of a problem in it, and I say I was afraid of it in a sense. I'm not afraid of it, but, you know, I should have pushed on through the things. But it's like setting up rocket production and setting up fueling of rockets, and the fact that filling a rocket takes literally thousands of, you know, pieces of material, you know. It's just, it gets into a scale that my brain says, right, well, that means we need to build a gigantic, you know, blue chip factory or something like that. I mean, I didn't, but, you know, I need to have the production to support, you know, I should be launching rockets, I guess, is kind of how my brain's thinking of, you know, I should be launching rockets like 1 a minute or something like that, you know. But it's not about that. It's, I mean, cargo rockets are basically trains in space, you know, or trains in space, essentially. So, you know, what you do with a train is you have it sit there, filling up, and then when it arrives, you know, it's like, how to phrase it? So it's like, it doesn't, in a sense, matter how slowly it fills up if the consumption is, you know, equivalent to the production, if that makes sense. So you don't really need... well, let's just leave the box there, I guess. And so, yeah, I've been a bit sort of like, you know, I should really have pushed on and what have you. But as I really like it, I think it's designed for what it's designed for, isn't it? So it's like these things of turning Science Pack 1 into Science Pack 2 into Science Pack 3, and those are quite specific to what it's going for. And I think it would feel a bit grindy if I was actually at that stage of the game, but I'm nowhere near easy. So yeah, it's sort of a mixed bag for me. It's like, I think I would do it very differently if I was to kind of start again now. I would hope. Why is there nothing coming out of them? Oh, because access to copper, did I? And why is that inserted there? What utter madness is this? So yeah, I say I would go with you know, enjoy it, but with a caveat that I'm probably not far enough in to really say that, to give any kind of informed opinion, basically. I thought so. I put them on completely the wrong side, didn't I? Why did I do that? Because that would need to go. Trying to talk and think at the same time. Always a difficult task. Okay. I really enjoyed it in the early game, and I really like things like the delivery cannons and the spaceships. 64 individual recipes of the science cards, however, feels like a chore. Are there really that many? That's insane. It seems to be a combination of core space ideas and immense amounts of contents, and you could play for a very long time. It's very interesting to me, but too much content for me to want to consume now. Yeah, so that's kind of how I'm feeling on it, in that I have enjoyed it. I don't know that grinding out the same thing over and over and over and over again is going to appeal, but having not got there, I don't know. It sort of forces you to build things around reliability rather than scale, which pains my Factorio instincts. Yeah, I mean, that is one of the things I have been finding now that because what I've done, I've set up a little, basically it's like the equivalent to a bot-based factory on the space platform, and then I'm just not caring about all the bot attrition. So, you know, essentially, I'm just sticking things into manufacturers, sticking them into, you know, chests, and then getting the bots to do all the work, and just going for right, well, I'll have one machine or two machines doing it, and that'll be it, you know, and the science happens when the science happens. Because I did find when I was, you know, stacking up all these, well, looking at the tech tree and what's in there, it was literally taking days worth of play to get the next science pack, and I say that's partly problematic, you know, the problem of how I was playing. And it was like, well, in that time it could have buffered 1,000 science packs, so why bother making 20 machines? Like, you know, why bother scaling it to, I've obviously not done it, but scaling it to, you know, production rate, if actually, you know, that doesn't matter, because it could just sit there making packs while I'm, you know, working out how the heck Vitamelange works or something like that. So, we probably need a couple more laps, and then we'll finally be able to crack on. We do the lab research speed as well, I guess, couldn't we? But I don't think I'd get that till a bit later on. Yes, we could have military on the list as well. How much is Steel X? 50. Okay. Trouble is, it, you know, because it's not been doing science, I didn't realise. We are a bit behind what we're able to build. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. It's sort of a thing, I don't know, I guess, I have an equivalent fear, I get, or not fear, but concern with the whole spoilage mechanic, where it's kind of pushing you to play a different style of game, basically a different style of production, and that there's that could really be fun. That could be a good, interesting thing. Change of how you do things and what have you, because it's about speed of delivery, just-in-time logistics. Could be interesting. Trains that don't sit there trying to fill up for 2 hours, but instead get one stack and set off when spoilage gets above or below 80% or something like that. So there could be all sorts of interesting new ways of doing stuff and playing. But the game I know is about volume production and just sticking a train full of stuff into a system. So if it turns out I don't enjoy that, that's a big part of the game that's then annoying, possibly, rather than fun. But of course there's no real way of knowing until play. I might find it more fun than regular Factorio, but I can't know that until I get it. It's like quality. On the other hand, I'm hoping and believing that quality will be fun, because that sounds like volume production with a twist. Just make as many of these as you can, filter out the ones that are quality and stuff like that, until you get what you're really after. But that might actually turn out to be a tedious and annoying mechanic. But I think overall it's more like I would say I'm just more glad that we are getting these new mechanics. I think that's the good bit. Okay, let's just do a general top up while we wait for the poles, which will just be done in a second. Some more pipes in, just because there's no lights on this. Let's have a check on the biters as well. Full stack there, cool. How are we doing pollution-wise? Any trees just saving us there, I think. Oh, look, we've got biters down here, and copper, okay. Okay. Now there's a username. Thank you for the follow. I'm not sure I'm going to say that on stream. Thank you very much for the follow. Blimey. Sorry, I'm missing the chat, aren't I? What are you saying? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's paused. I don't know how to pronounce that. Nideclia? I personally try spoilage once, but if it's not fun for me, I will just remove it. Yeah, this is one of the things. I don't know. I'm interested to see how map gen and stuff will work. I mean, certainly we know. It's absolutely thumping through the sciences now, isn't it? I mean, certainly we know that, well, we don't know it, but people have been working on mods, I believe, is what I've sort of seen, hinted at. I've said this before. I don't know why, because, they've put, we have a cooler in the game. We have a cooler for the nuclear fusion. Why don't we therefore have a refrigeration mechanic? Now, I fully take the point that maybe it just turned out not to be fun. They tried it and it wasn't fun. But the way they sort of dismissed it was a bit strange, But that just seems like an absolute perfect candidate for a mod of just, using coolers to make refrigeration, which then extends the spoilage timer, basically. Oh, I didn't put those notes in. So yeah, we'll have to see. But we also don't know to what extent... I mean, how is map gen and map settings going to work? Because it's already pretty complicated setting up a... Or, I mean, it's not complicated, is it? You just go with the defaults, but you've got so many options to play with, you know, in the map gen and that already. Are we getting one of those map screens per planet? You know, can we turn spoilage as a mechanic off? You know, we know quality's a mod. Done as a mod. So is, you know, anything else like that? Okay, so yes, we made some bits and pieces, didn't we? So, or we researched rather some bits and pieces. So let's get them made. Do I want to? No, let's do it slightly differently. If we do that as the medium, because we need sticks for both of these. Oops. So if we have sticks being made here, and then we can do that like that. Pop some power bars in. Chest to hold the stuff. And then we want. Okay, and then you need iron plates, right? Yeah. What is it? Copper plate and steel. Finally, our first use of steel, which is too far away. No, it's copper, isn't it? Let's just stick to them. Help the power. Okay. A couple of stacks of these, I think. And just the one stack of them. Now, are you able to run a bit faster? You are. Is it running out of resource? No, cool. I have to imagine that you're going to get massive amounts of produce really easily on Cleaver, with basically no finite resource input. I think spoilage is going to be the main challenge, so I doubt it'll be optional, at least officially. I don't think it'll be optional, no. I think you'll have to play with it. I don't think it'll be... I think maybe sliders might be involved. What I was thinking more was, you know, we have this... Is it like 2 hours is the maximum spoilage, which is for the science packs? If there was a slider that let you put that up, you know, to make it easier, or, you know, something like that. I don't think they'll turn it off, but I can imagine a slider that turns that from 2 hours into 4 hours or something like that, you know. And equally, a mod could simply extend the times, you know. It might be more complicated to actually change the mechanic or change how it exactly works, although from what they were saying, I don't think it would be, but you could literally have a mod that says, right, turn spoilage times into whatever you want, and you can change it to infinite if you really want to, which then basically takes spoilage out of the game, because that feels like that would be a fairly easily doable mod. And even if you can't set it to infinite, you could set it to 6 billion years, you know, or whatever the integer number lets you do, sort of thing. So I think it would be quite easy to take it out of the game with a mod. Of course, then you'd lose achievements and all that sort of stuff, but I see myself liking the system, but it really depends on how punished the numbers are. Yeah. Just thinking about the cooler idea makes me think it would not really do much. It would be all the things you currently do, but a cooler layer in between some things that delays the spoilage for a bit. They would still have to balance it with cooling in mind, so I expect the same temporal issue still present, or else it would be redundant. I would need to try both out to really give it a good assessment, though. Yeah. I mean, what I was thinking about there is, you know, the mod would be... I'm sorry, you know, pretty sure they've said it's not in the game, so it would be a mod. But what I was thinking there was that you could do it as an infinite research. So basically, oops, that's the wrong thing, isn't it? Get some engine units. Basically, you know, as you do more infinite researches, the amount of time extension it gives you increases. Because what I'm thinking, it's like the throughput thing. If you want to do a mega base and you want to do, you know, 10,000 science or what have you, that means being able to deliver 10,000 science quickly. at the moment, you know, with spoilage. Whereas if you extend it, you know, you give yourself more time with cooling, and the cooling could have a power cost. You see, that could be the balancing mechanic in it, in that you basically, you know, you put it on a platform. Platforms have limited power. Eventually, of course, you get fusion, so it sort of sorts itself out. But if it's a cooler on a, you know, as a thing on a platform, then it's powered by the platform. It could be really power hungry because, you know, cooling things down is. You might think, well, in space, you know, blah 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 blah, but the sort of problem with space is actually radiating heat. So you could do it that way, for example. But yeah, you could also do it. You know, could have a cooler wagon in a train, or, you know, a cooler thing for a rocket. And the idea would be potentially that an infinite research just extends how efficient your cooling is. And so those things have longer and longer time, which means then you can have a train that sits at a station filling up with science packs in the normal way, whereas at the moment you've got to send, you know, fast trains really regularly. And so it just makes it easier to do a mega base, essentially. That was kind of where I was thinking it might go, but as I say, they've not done that, so that would be a mod to put anything like that in. The cooler providing a good infinite tech upgrade sounds like a great idea, I must admit. Yeah. And of course, you also, like most infinite ones, it's really then how far you want to go with it. You know, do you just keep doing that as a tech and it just gets more and more easy to do science packs on Gleba, even though you're having to, you know, eat tens of thousands of science packs just to do the next level. So yeah. Okay, so that's getting us some engines. So eventually we'll get a car. We also added some extra things. What did we add? Well, we got all of them. Something else popped up, didn't it? Oh, grenades. Cool. AP ammo. Nice. Grenata. Now, do I... I think I'm going to make some AP ammo, but do I make it at the top? Because I'll probably do a bit of military at this sort of stage and, you know, just use it, you know, do it by hand type of thing. You know, feed it in rather than belt it round. Just so that we can have it if we need it. I am rather aware that I've just managed to build us past the dogleg point for that, but then I guess I can turn that way, can't I? Because I don't think this is connected anyway. I'm most interested in getting into oils, you know, blue science basically at this stage. Right, so let's make some grenades and then some AP ammo. And grenades. Give you. Oh, we don't have coal, do we? Where have we got some coal that we have to use? Maybe, I mean, given we got the ammo there, maybe we do it that way, up there. Okay. Because they need steel and copper as well. I don't know when they changed it, but this always used to be armor well, maybe I imagine it. It always used to be armor piercing magazines, I'm sure, but it isn't now. It's just piercing. But I don't know if that's just me that I've somehow in my head invented it as being armor piercing ammo. I don't know, it's just because I'm doing this video and I was looking at it, I was going, wait, it's not called armor piercing ammo? But maybe it never was, you know. I mean, there's, you know, the fighters aren't really, I guess they are armoured in a sense, but random thoughts. So let's do that and that. Across there. Top this up. Put that in. Yeah, that's just a strange sort of observation, really. Them, in fact, actually, probably better off speeding that. And it needs more input. Cool. What do you need? Steel and copper. Boop. And we don't need that at all, do we? So we can then do that. Oh. Cool. And then grenades. If we maybe bring something over here. I can't, because that's one place. So if we make grenades here, maybe. Just steal a bit of... Yeah, just steal a bit of coal from somewhere. Just thinking how we're going to hop it in. So I could cut down from the top rather. Grenades. Nice few stacks of that, I think. So we're ready to do some military science. It could even change gameplay, from example, having all science labs on Glibar, then moving it to another planet because of the improved logistics. Change level when they save file, yeah. Imagine being able to make all software as polished as Factorio life costs. Yeah. It is, I mean, it's the advantage of having your own engine, basically. You know, doing your own thing in your own engine, because there's lots of stuff in it, obviously, that it'd be like daft to put in other games, you know? Things they're optimizing are just not anything any other game has to think about. You know, having literal millions of items is just not anything anyone else really has to think about. Even, you know, it's part of the reason that, like, Satisfactory is, you know, as it is in a sense, because it's built in Unreal Engine 5, so you can't really have as many items and stuff in that game. So if that was like there, then if we put this maybe... Where's the best place to spaghetti this round is what I'm trying to work out. Maybe we go next... Oops. Around. Next that. Okay, oops. That. And then I think to be consistent I should really do that one. I've got power pipeline. Okay. Where am I trying to get this to? I guess actually it wants to go across this bit, doesn't it? So if we do that, oops, that. Oh, there's actually iron ore under there. Huh. There. Your finest spaghetti, please. Do you have any ideas of what the wildcard gameplay change of the last planet could be? Introduction of coolant with fusion makes me think it could be something thermal. I really don't know what they could be introducing that would be more dramatic a change than spoilage. Yeah, I mean, my only thoughts are that basically that it is something related to heat. You know, well, the clues, well, they've literally stated it's cold and dark, so, you know, that's got to factor in somehow, even if it's just aesthetic. I don't know what would count as, because the sort of, I've got like a warring thing in my head, basically, because Covarex, was it Covarex? Might be cloning, but one of them said, one of the devs said on Reddit, I think it was, that there was another mechanic coming that was going to be even more controversial than quality, and by that it was clear when it was revealed that was spoilage, basically. That spoilage they were expecting to be more controversial than quality. I don't know that it was in the end. I also don't know that they weren't a bit surprised by... Oh, just finished. By how controversial Fluids 2.0 was. So you never know with these things. It's difficult to judge, is what I'm meaning there. But that therefore means that whatever this new thing is... And the phrase was gameplay, wasn't it? It wasn't a mechanic. The phrase was gameplay. Most unique gameplay. Which implies that it's not a new mechanic, you know? So I'm a bit stumped as to what that might be. Now, heat pipes, of course, are not a new would be not a new mechanic. You know, heat pipes are there already. So having to hook every building up to a heat pipe, or having heat pipes, you know, radiating heat and stuff like that, that wouldn't necessarily be a new mechanic, so they wouldn't be thinking about it in that terms, but it would be unique gameplay. We don't do anything like that at the moment, ish, you know, because you do kind of run heat pipes in order to transfer heat. The other thing, of course, I mean, we don't know what the fusion reactor runs on. And my thought, you know, is that it's going to be heavy water, basically, that you're going to have to essentially process heavy water. We also know from... I don't know who it was. I don't know which dev it was, but there's 2 buildings that one of the art team was saying that he hadn't even started work on. And this was fairly recently. So that to me implies there's 2 production buildings. We never saw... I don't know if people have decided that, you know, the green one on the first preview image, whether that is the coolant building, because it looks sort of similar, but it looked quite different to me. So I'm wondering if that's still a building. You know, that's still a thing that needs to be done. But I don't see why that would be still in a work in progress. But if it was some other building that was, you know, making heat or something like that, but then I don't know. So we know there's a significant amount, you know, still to be revealed, I think, if there's 2 buildings where they don't have the artwork for. Because I don't think anything we've seen has been a work in progress for a building. I don't think so. I think they've waited, you know, to make sure the buildings were, if not final art, then close to. So yeah, so I don't know, but my theory is that it is heat related, but also that I think one of the, you know, if I was to speculate, you know, more as per usual, I would guess that it's an electrolysis plant, which is going back to an old speculation I had a long time ago about aluminium. So I'm a bit cheating there, but that you make the hydrogen, heavy hydrogen, basically by, you know, that there's like frozen lakes essentially of heavy hydrogen. And that you mine those up on Aquila, and then you have to melt it, so that's where the heating comes in. And probably, you know, because my problem with the whole having to heat every building, and you know, I've suggested this as the mechanic, is that I don't know that that's particularly interesting. All it does really is it means, so if you've got a line, you know, got this line of buildings here, I've got to heat all of those. Well, all I do is I use long-handed inserters. And now I can run 2 sets of heat pipes, or just one, you know. Job done. You know, if that's a heat pipe, then both of those buildings are connected. It's not, you know, it's not complicated in a sense, other than getting the heat into the heat pipes. So yeah, that's my sort of question on whether that would be. But I think, as I say, that maybe we'll have to process the hydrogen, or heavy hydrogen, or whatever it is, heavy helium, or you know, helium maybe, in a unique way, and that's where the uniqueness comes from. So it's not really, yeah. But then I would count that as a new mechanic. You see, I would count a electrolysis type building as a new mechanic. But yeah, so I don't know, but it is interesting what it could be. You describe what I've been wondering for weeks very well. An enigmatic 5th planet promises some of the most unique gameplay. Yeah, so unique gameplay, you see. but it remains shrouded in mystery. It's the furthest planet from the sun, so it's dark and cold. You know, those two aren't necessarily connected, you see. That's what I would say. It could be cold and dark, but be nothing to do with gameplay. I mean, one of the things I would say, you know, when we saw the initial previews of the buildings, we never got to see, or it had all the pressure and stuff like that. That was what it was talking about. Has anything, you know, related to that been revealed to us? I don't know that it has really. I mean, you could just say, well, that's like the law reason that you can't make things off of volcanoes, that you have to make your belts there because it needs high pressure. But then if that's the case, why can you use a foundry anywhere else? There's something else I was going to make, wasn't there? While we're waiting for our car to be ready. No, it doesn't look like it was. I think I was going to set up... I could just set up a little thing making military, I guess. Or ready to make military. You see, this is the type of thing, to me, that, I mean, obviously I haven't done lab research, but you know when people go in and straight off build, you know, 5 of these and 6 of these, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 labs, and they're not actually using up all the science. Science is actually really slow at the start. You know, it's only when it starts to get into later text that you actually like need all those buildings and all this you know, labs to eat them, especially with research. But yeah, it's not actually a bigger production challenge at this stage. Okay, so if we say that we are going to have a little science building here, potentially, or a little manufacturing building here, and she's going to make some car military science packs, which we haven't actually researched yet. I thought we had. Just going to go about there. In fact, side. In fact, let's give it a blasted sample as well. So when we get military science packs, we can just come over, stick a bunch of stuff in there, and get it to work. And I'll prep that with. In fact, let's do a general stock up, I guess. So now I've got a full stack of gun turrets. Great. Let's get radars. Load of ores. In fact, I get mad with ores. Just let it chug away. Chug away. We've got medium power poles. Excellent. And the long ones. Did I have enough engine units to make a car? Yes. Awesome. Nice. Right, what else can we grab? Power poles, radars we've got. Pair packs. Good. Lights. Yep. Chesticles. I say that isn't meant to kind of downplay any, you know, like, or you know, diminish any theories about heat. I still actually think it will be that. I was just intrigued by the phrasing of most unique gameplay. That's a very interesting way to phrase it. You know, rather than the most unique mechanic or the most unique building or you know, something like that. I still hold out hope that we're going to build some sort of mega structure, even if it turns out to be just a giant spaceship or something like that. I don't think they'll do a Dyson sphere or anything like that. But so I'm holding out hope that we get to build some sort of giant thing in space. That'd be quite fun. Okay, and pipes. Have we got loads of pipes? We have. Just trying to stock up on them because the oil is kind of the next goal. We got them. What did we just do? We just did a steel axe. Nice. Trains. Actually, let's do military 2. Then trains. Do we want to do... Damage buffs are really expensive though. Let's what? I guess since I'm now using explosives, in fact, don't I need to do a second one? But it would cost me 200 science bucks. There we do. This is one that I've never really figured out why it's separated. You know, why do you research railway and then research automated railway and then research rail signals? Why isn't railway just a single tech that gives you all of those? And they could just literally take 100 from that, 175. So it could be 250 to do railway. And it gives you all the techs. I've never really understood why that was split up. Okay. And I guess we should stick on that one and then what do I want to have? Let's do the military. I can't go. Gosh. Can it? No. Oh, I've already got it queued up. Yeah, go on, let's stick that on there. Okay, lots of lovely science. Doing its sciencey thing. And we could do with... In fact, are you able to... code? Yeah, so if we sort of... Oops. Do that. Do that. Do that. Are you getting enough iron? Yes, okay. No, where is it? Okay. And I need to connect that to copper somehow. Guess I could just weave that one round, maybe. There's not really enough machines to eat it all. Yeah, let's do it. So I zoomed in on the fusion reactor images that was about testing huge scales. The buildings on the left actually looked quite similar to that green building. Oh, really? So if there's that's already at least started, it means that's not one of the two more buildings not even started. Oh, really? Okay. I think that's a holdover from 2014 trains. Lol, it should all be one tech. Yeah, it's very strange. It's like very sort of odd division. Okay, so we are running out of copper. But we have lots of space for copper. We do just need to check the power. Okay. Might get a little tricksy when we get into oil production. That's phenomenal. Okay. Whoops. Cool. Bit more copper. Guess we should also add this in. Oops. Oops. Okay. Right, well we built a car. So let's get carring. I would quite like to take some more AP ammo with us. Nice. Some grenades. I'm not actually, I'm not going to attack the biter or anything, but we end up accidentally kiting a few. Always useful to have. Okay, so what we want to do really is kind of see what's going on in these sorts of areas, really. Mostly, I think. Oh, look, uranium. Okay. Good, good. We're feeling we might become popular. There's a lot of trees doing a lot of very good favours for us there, but feels like that's going to break through in a bit. Let's go and do a little explore. So just to expand our knowledge. And do our best not to die. Bosh, bosh. I never changed my player colour, did I? Let's go with what? Sort of a dark purple. Or dark blue, I guess. Go on. Immediately crashes into a tree. Whoa! Cracking. Okay. Oops. Often play with the old vehicle snap-on. Right, so I'm going to go around here. Oops, around here. I can't wait for the cliffs to be spawned in a much better way. I mean, look at the top of this cliff. It's just annoying. Okay. Go down here. Oh, there's a bit of coal nearby. That's good. Oh. That'd be a rock. Now, let's have a sneak round. See if there's any locals here. Looks like there's a bit of a triple cluster there. Okay. Trees down here. Oh, 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 yeah. They're a bit away though, aren't they? What we got over this side? I don't know whether I'm going to go... Oh, crikey, that's a really big arrangement. Go full bus or anything. Don't know, I haven't really decided. Oh, crikey. This is like normal. I say it was as vanilla as you can get this. So it's normal distance. Usually when I'm streaming, I'll push it out a bit just so that... Okay, so we've got water there, that's good. Just so that I don't get attacked too quickly while I'm blathering on about my usual nonsense. Okay. Okay. Friends up there. So, what does this look like then? This is quite a nice open area, but no trees to soak up pollution, which is interesting. Let's go and have a look at what's going up in the north. And I'll come back and... Oh, it's dark, isn't it? Oh dear. And some biters. Look at that single nest. I bet you're a spawn, aren't you? I bet you've spawned in... not spawned, you know, a colonisation group, basically. So, the question is, am I brave enough to try a bit of circle strafe with some trees that's so nearby and so dark? Tell you what, let's go and have a look at this stone patch at the top, and then maybe we'll think about that, because they're right on there. Not right on it, but right close to that lovely little oil patch. So this is all quite free, isn't it? Because stone is obviously our smallest patch, and I think that's the first extra stone we've found. I think so. Okay, So am I brave enough? You need to liberate them from themselves. Hashtag freedom. Indeed. Indeed. I mean, we do have AP ammo, so we should just melt them, basically. The difficulty is the worms and my driving ability. Okay, let's give it a go. Cool. Not too difficult. So usually the problem with that is more to do with me crashing into a rock or a tree and then panicking, basically. So I've also got some oil here. It'd be good to get that on the map and see what that is. I think that's out the original... You know, that's not part of the what was revealed on the... Oops. Okay, so we know what that is. You know, on the preview, I think that's... The preview went to that one. Okay, so we've got a couple of bits of oil there. That's quite nice. Let's have a scout round and see what's going here. I say by the time we get back, we should have lots of lovely rail to build. The water there. Excellent. Trees. Oh. Fairly big nest. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. We'll think better of that. Because it's too close to avoid kiting them, I think. There's no way of getting through there without angering them, is there? So, we want to have a look at the top end. I have to kind of sneak through. See, this is the type of thing. It's literally one nest. I don't think there's even any worms in it, but I would just get, you know, overwhelmed. So my reaction times are not good enough. Okay. Let's have a look at what's going on up north. Yeah, can I just sort of sneak through here? Okay. Just trying to get the lay of the land, basically, to see what's where the next patches are, etc., etc. Okay. Copper there. There's actually a lot of resources knocking about. It's interesting. Some biters with a cliffside view there. Looks like some prime real estate. Okay. Okay. See if we can look around here. I think that's a bit close. But we'll have a look. Oops. Oh no, I can get through there. Okay. Let's sneak through this little gap. Yeah, it's one of the things I'm looking forward to most, actually, is the whole revamped. So that's just a load of worms, isn't it? So it's very close to some bad lads, though. Looking a bit mean, a bit angry. Okay, how about we nip back this way. Where did I get through then? Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna quite enjoy, I think, the new. Now, that's not a good place to go to. Now this map gen. Because having like it's almost pre-built paths to send your trains down and drive down. There's much more kind of organic and realistic and stuff. I always think the trains look really good when they're blasting through forests. Okay, how big is that? That's a fairly sizable chunk of biters. People put radars down and have like, you know, solar powered little things and stuff like that. I don't bother. I'm very lazy, so I just usually go for a drive and then be surprised when there's biters over there that colonised it. So you can nip through the back here. Night has fallen. I'm driving via the map, basically. Okay. I think that's probably enough revealed. Let's pop back. Rail hasn't quite finished, but it can't be far off. Okay. I guess we could nip down here, see if there's anything interesting there. Follow custom. It's only one little nesticle. Cool. Let's do that. Not sure if we'll get blue science up and running today, but we'll give it a good go. Shall I maybe try and kill them? If just leave rogue biters out in the wild, they eventually just despawn. No. Okay. Cool. So we do have uranium down here. It does have a lot of biters nearby though. A lot meaning sort of separate groups. They're not particularly big nests, are they? Okay. Nice. Fun little road trip. Now, let's have a little bit of a think. Because we need oil to do blue science, obviously. And we have some oil there, with quite a lot of biters nearby that would be very angry. It's also got some cliffs in the middle of it, which is not going to be fun. We'll have some oil here. Obviously we can try and take them out and not be incompetent and die. So they won't be a problem. It's relatively close to them, not as near as these, but it's quite open with the grass, so we would probably need to do quite a lot of defending, I think. But just, you know, in terms of setting up some turrets and all that sort of fun and games. And then training in would therefore be quite easy, I think. We could do something like that. In order to maybe drop it off here. And start doing some very basic processing so we can get the bits and pieces we need to get us into blue science. So yeah, I think this is going to be our freedom oil. Okay. Cool. Train stuff. Oh, we also have military science. I'm going to set that going. Actually, there's a point. Did I... So if we are going to have to be defensive about those places, it's probably worth having the damage at the least kind of ready to go. But what do I want to do really? Because that is super cheap, isn't it? Yeah, let's rethink this. We will go with Oh, sorry, we need automation too anyway. But fluids and oil and fluid wagons. Guess we could maybe think about doing flame turrets, because they are quite cheap. Let's let that chug through though. I'm not entirely sure we'll get through that today. There we go. Too much chatting, not enough building. Right. Some grenades, some more ammo. You want some fun? And then just a bit of each. Oops. Way around. I'm gonna put a few on, but I can't see how that would make anything resembling, you know, enough volume to fill them up. But oh, actually, let's do it. Because I guess they'll all just sit there waiting with sound effects and get a burst of research minute. Oops. And I set it going. Yeah. Right. Trains. 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 So first, obviously the actual track itself. Which, unless it's changed... Oh, doesn't this need... Oh, no, they changed all that, didn't they? Get confused. There's that thing where certain recipes you had to start moving towards blue assemblers. Get myself really mixed up there. So that's the sticks, then we need stone. And we need steel. And actually, in fact, what I might do, oops, is go around, replace the dirty wooden power piles. So we don't have to mess about doing the extra one. Let's leave that much. Oops. Oh. It got it, you might as well use it, eh? And somehow I've got a green science pack. That's on that. That's on that. Excellent. Excellent. Should we also switch to steel chests? Don't I need a fast on that? It's a bit quicker than they can handle, I think, isn't it? What are we looking? Sticks are not quick enough, and is that because it's because they're getting made quick enough? Cool, that seems to be chugging. And yeah, let's just give it a whole row for it to fill up. Okay. I usually just make the signals. I don't usually bother doing train stops in the thing. Oh, I haven't got signals. Okay. But they are... Let's see if I can remember. It's green circuits and... Oh, yeah, and plate. I sometimes imagine what these things actually look like. I always sort of my... what would you call it? Like the head cannon is like... What we build, you know, the icons and stuff that we build are what the engineer's concept of what he's building is. So they're not they don't actually look like these things. So for example, this is just like, it's literally just, it's the signal doesn't look like this. You know, it's not this fancy. It's just literally an iron plate, and these put the circuit side of it is just an LED, you know, like an LED or something, or like it's welded 3 LEDs to an iron plate, something like that. So that's what it really looks like, and a lot of it's based on the recipe. So that works because it's like steel, you know. Steel plate can actually be a piece of, you know, track sort of thing, but some of them it's like quite silly what they are. You know, they don't, you know, it doesn't look like fancy like this. It's just some gigantic steel pole with an iron pole on the top, and then some bits of copper as the conductor on it. So it's like the most dangerous thing you can imagine. You can see why I do the Friday Facts videos, can't I? It's complete flights of fantasy. Right. Signals on the go. As I say, usually just hand make them, but we do need locos and etc. So for them we need engines. So we'll just put one of them in now, and then locos there. So they are steel green circuits, etc. And then we'll put wagons on there. So they're Kia, Stubby Doobry, okay. Iron plate as well? Yeah, iron plate. Do you need? No, you don't need iron plate, do you? You do need engines, and they do need steel. And then you need steel as well. Green circuits. Engines from there. Okay. Maybe I will give that a little bit of an extra boost because they are very, very hungry. Obviously, it's going to take a while to make some of them. But we're going to do fluid handling. Excellent. Pumps. So, I guess maybe if I do it as, yeah, let's do it like that. Because we need them for the fluid wagons as well, so. It's amazing how familiar all this stuff is. So I've not actually played vanilla, like straight vanilla, in absolutely ages, but a lot of it's just, it's not quite muscle memory, but it's like, I'm not struggling to remember in a sense what recipes are. Well, I don't have a lot of recipes in my head, but you know, the basic idea of what's going on is not unfamiliar. Okay, and then we did do, yeah, oil pumpy jacky jobs as well, didn't we? Oh no, we're working on that. Okay. What was the one we just did then? Was it just the tanks? Oh, I've not been putting lights on, have I? Boop, 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 boop. Cool, stacks of lights already. Just working on the engines. Already got them. Crikey. So yeah, that'll be the fluid things, which I think... Do they need? Pretty sure they need steel. Maybe gears as well? I'll have to see. And then they definitely need steel. Gears. Ah, we have hit the end. We have hit the dead end. Somebody's put a lake in the way. Don't know about that. That doesn't seem very sporting. Okay, let's have a stock up on what we've got. I guess I should... Well, I don't really need the wagons, do I? We grabbed them already. Let's have a stack of rail. So ready to go. Engines I've got. Power poles. Power poles, we'll get rid of that. The wooden ones as well. And I guess I should top that off. Radars I've got. Turrets, is that already full? That's full. More lights. Put in chest down. Some long-handed. Plenty of regulars. Then we should have a look and see about power and stuff as well. Well, let's do the looking first before we grab the actual things. Might just bump that up, given not far off of doing outposts and etc. So we will put those in there. Oops. In the wrong direction. Grenade stack. Excellent. What about pipes? Yeah, no worries on pipes. Gears, yeah, cool. Circuits, red gears. Well, now, what about power? Have we had any spikiness? So we've got 10. Could go and just stick some on while we're waiting. Yeah, let's go do that. Steel looks very low. Why is steel very low? I think the reason is probably pretty obvious. Let's do one of them there. Some silly person has built this right in the way of this cliff. Okay. About... bit of a dog leg. I got rid of them, didn't I? Let's just do... swapsy. So obviously I'm trying to get to bots, really. Make my life easier. big milestone is science. Achieve that. Now, if I... we go maybe... And that's the coal. Oops, then... Cursed belts. All sorts of weird angles. Building in there. How many was 27? Don't think that's quite enough, is it? Then I got a load of iron, stone on me, so let's just make them by hand. Trying to concentrate to get these in the right place and not mess it up. There we go. I mean, that's backed up, so I think we're probably fine with stone brick. Copper's full as well. Okay, so we could do with some more coal, which does mean probably grabbing it from there. I was going to add some more power, wasn't I? But do we really need more power? So we're spiking 10-ish. Yeah, let's leave it. Okay. Instead, let's push on with making some pump jacks. Which are going to be these ones, he says, not sure. What did I miss off? So, you've got pipes and stuff. Oh, it's just all right stuff. Okay. But we'll give you a bit more access. Excellent, that's all capped. So, we need to make your actual chemical labs and oil refineries. But we've hit a lake. So, how about kind of, because that's 2 gap, that's 2 gap. We go up this way. Now we might take the opportunity. No, let's just leave it actually. I was going to say we could flip around, you know. I'll flip the order because I'm doing a lot of long-handeds basically. So, oops. That's not good. Look well. Just leave it, I think. We'll leave a gap here, if we can, in case we need to bring something like plastic or something along. We need a space to just slide it in. So then, first one maybe is there. Obviously need a connection. Yeah, no. We could always. I think I might put something in there eventually, but since we're talking about chemical labs and refineries, which are very, very similar. And when we need one, we will likely need the other. Great, that was 2 hours. Let's just put that across there. So, refineries. Boop. And chemical labs. All the ingredients under the sun. Right. It's all of this stuff on the left, isn't it, basically? So, give it full access. And then that's all the same except for the stone brick side of things. In fact, it also needs stone brick, doesn't it? Because that's green circuits. Oops. So it actually needs that as well. And then this one doesn't. Okay. Lights. How many have we got now? 17. All I made here was barreling. I hope barreling isn't something we have to start doing again in Space Age. It's annoying enough in SpaceX, but I don't know. I'm a bit worried we've not seen any hints of how you move fluids about. You know, maybe you don't need to move fluids about, but we've got a fusion reactor that requires coolant, so you've got to move some. And it also, the coolant drains. You know, it's not a perfect closed loop. You lose some of the coolant, so you're always going to have to top it up. So yeah, I just hope we don't start having to mess about with barrels, or maybe we get a super barrel or something like that. It's always so tedious setting up barrel unloading with trains. I think that's everything. Blue Wagons is chugging away. We'll set some more techs on the go. We'll get that one because it's proving a bit slow. But then we're into sulfur. Blue science also needs red circuits, doesn't it? So plastic, red circuits, a blue science. Cool. Could do some armour as well, couldn't I? We'll leave that low, I think. I won't need barrels for the coolant and or cool plasma. I never even used them. Crikey. You've not missed anything there, Senna. They were an absolute pain to work with barrels. Because you used to have to... I mean, I guess you could just leave them all in a chest and, you know, blah, blah. But they're very expensive barrels. You know, it's a single piece of steel, but if you try and imagine, so you got a carriage that we'd fill, because they only stack to 10. So if you wanted to fill a carriage, you know, you needed 400 barrels. So that's 400 bits of steel just to fill a single thing. And of course, you would have to do a loop. Every station had an unbarreling. I don't think I can do it on the level ones, can I? But you'd have an unbarreling, and on the other end a barreling. So you'd have this thing here. You know, unbarreling whatever you were doing, petroleum or something. And so basically the trains would unload into them, and then of course you're getting the barrels out, so you'd have to loop them back round. And you always had that thing of, you know, because you'd have to use you'd have different options. Did it have a second carriage on it? Say it's a one carriage thing. Does it have a second carriage on it that carries the empty barrels back again? And how do you... A lot of the problem as well was setting up the logic. I don't think it might have had the train logic in it. I can't remember. It must have done. But it was, you know, it was quite painful basically, setting these things up, because, you know, you'd have to, or you'd have a second train, you know, turning up and delivering barrels or something like that, and it was just really, really complicated. And then they put in you know, fluid wagons, and all you did is just pump it into a fluid wagon and you're done. You know, it was such an improvement. To the extent that, I'll be honest, I ended up on the playthroughs that I did do barreling were just the most annoying. So when, you know, in the sort of gap between them putting that in, I would just make things locally. Every oil outpost actually made plastic, and I would move plastic type of thing, or sulfur, move sulfur, or what have you. And then you'd have a situation where if you want sulfuric acid, which is what you usually want, you move sulfur, you know, and make the sulfuric acid where you want, sort of thing. So yeah, it added a lot of complexity for no real, you know, it wasn't fun. It wasn't a fun complexity. Okay, what was I doing? I was going to do something. I don't know what it was. I guess we'll take them, and then these. Actually, let's not take away. How many have we actually got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I make that 9. So let's just take 10. Guess I can't do counting. Has it made locos for us? It has. 2. Perfect. We don't want carriages, do we? I could take some tanks. Oh, I mean, I'm not making pumps. Shall I make pumps? It's just they need engines. They're a bit of a pain in the bum. I think I'll just hand make what I need. This is going to be the fluid wagons, which are still chugging. Got signals. I don't need signals, but I've got signals. Bits of rail we could grab. Could also make me empty some of this out. As we go. Don't think anything uses copper, is it? Yeah. Okay. I guess we should have military stuffs. I've got both boxes. What is the time? 5:15. Okay. Yeah, barrel recycling. Yeah, we didn't have recycle. I mean, reuse basically. So you couldn't recycle things. You still can't. You know, well, that wasn't the mechanic. It was literally reuse, which then means you have a system where it's like, if it's producing barrels, and like you end up filling up trains, and then they try and unload somewhere, and you can't fit the things back in, and and it was very easy. The biggest problem usually was that it got clogged up, basically. So you would be there, you know, trying to unbarrel, you know, full barrels, and there's no room to unload them because it's you know, the whole system's clogged up because you've not sort of unloaded them properly. And I say it was just complexity that wasn't fun. Of course, then, you know, they put the fluid wagon in. The whole problems with the fluid mechanics became even worse because you were trying to unload loads and loads of fluid all in one place, and you would find these, like they showed on the Friday Facts, the weird. Wait, but why is that unloading but not, you know, not filling up these tanks and all this sort of stuff? Cool. Nearly there. Nearly there. Bing bong bing. Got steel on me. So you are going to fluid wagon, so what did I miss? Got the tanks, pipes, gears and steel. Nothing. We just don't need that. Excellent. So make a couple of those. grab a load of track. Load more. Let's make a few pumps, I guess. Where are they now? A couple of pumps. Am I short on anything? That's the question. We could do with getting some more ammo. Because we always need more ammo. I haven't got gates, have I? No. It's fine. We'll just put it on one side. Or just put a gap, really. So we need to take out him. In fact... Oh no. Getting confused. So it's just sneaking up. Sneaking up. Oh, actually, these might be the first candidates for a bit of an attack. Because the water doesn't properly absorb it. Maybe I should just put a little defensive little thing here. Boop. Boop. That. A couple of these guys again. Chest. Some wall, oops, walls around. Where did they go then? Cool. It's funny to read the Friday Facts and dev comments about Erador's creativity and how they take it and then shave off the excessive stuff. It's really great for certain players though, like Space Exploitation. It's that was quite funny, wasn't it? It's sort of particularly the you know, that he puts all his ideas in the prototype, and then they only take half of them, and then they play that, and then they take half of them again, and chop half of them out, sort of thing. So he's far too creative for his own good, I think. WTF, how did you take half of all the stacks in the chest? It's just control click, basically. So let's do it on the rail. So if you just literally hold control, right click, and you do it off of what you... Well, you can do it actually on the thing you're doing. It takes... Because right click is half and left click is all. So it's just holding control, basically. So shift does the same thing when you're holding the items as well. But yeah, it's just control right click, basically. And you can obviously do it remotely, so you just take off that. But then it doesn't tend to do that as the actual stacks. But yeah. Okay, so have we got everything? I think so. Or enough of everything. I'm not on the stone, am I? I think so. So, aim will be to kind of bring the train in somewhere over here. Yeah, bring it along this line, maybe. I didn't grab, rather, enough grenades. Good to know, thanks. No worries. A lot of these things, this is one of the types, that's one of the types of areas, I think, that it feels intimidating in a sense for new players of the game, because there are loads of shortcuts and bits and pieces like that, and I don't use a lot of them. I'm not. Some people absolutely swear by the old hotbar, because you've got that thing where, so hotbar, it's the top row is 1 2 3 4 5. I haven't got anything there, so I use the hotbar so little, but if you hit 3, it grabs that third item in the hotbar, and then is it shift? No, shift doesn't work. Shift moves the arrangement. To do that. Which is it? Is it control then? No. Oh, I thought it was shift. No. The shift switches it to the number that you picked. Is it alt? No. What's the button? Maybe it's control shift. No. Isn't there a button for selecting those ones, basically? I know there's obviously R. You know, swaps them round. Not R. X, isn't it? There you go. Swaps them round. But I can't remember. I was sure it was Shift. No? Clearly not. But you see how, you know, I use the hotbar so little now. I never really used it much other than just to grab things by hand. But there's all sorts of stuff like that. It's like, spend hours going through the... It's literally, I mean, it's enormous, isn't it? I seem to remember. Not interface. Controls, there we go. So this is all of the buttons in the game. It's just mad how many shortcuts there are. But it's because I think part of it is because it sort of comes from the whole RTS thing where people are just like, they're almost like typing when they play RTS games at esports level. It's like hitting loads of keys in sequence, you know. Is it quick bar? Rotate quick bars. Next active one, shortcut 1, 2. Oh, it's just numbered. Okay. Huh. Select quick bar. So shit. That's what I was doing. It's the shift one. So it does go up to 10. But yeah, you can, and there's lots of them that aren't set. You know, next active quick bar, previous active quick bar. If you use your quick bar, but I say I don't. So it's literally just. So if I go 0, oh, okay. Weird. I thought that was a shift key because that's obviously a bit of a, bit of a track for the fingers. X, I think. Yeah, that's the road. Swap them over thing. But yeah, so I use sewing. It's actually worth unbinding some of the controls because you can accidentally hit things that you don't actually have any use for or any desire to use, as it were. Okay. Bing bong bing. Now, what we want to make sure is that we've got sort of a nice bit of room. So how many have we got here? We've got 2, 4, 6, 8. So that will take us up to 10. Now, do I want to think of them as full stack things? I don't think I'm that fast. I could always just route it round, couldn't I? But if we got 10, because I could just put them back to back, basically, if we needed that much. But I've got double sides. That's a lot of electricity. So instead, we'll think about pathing that. So our train, in other words, can come in here. Because the advantage of having the coal there is I can just steal some of it to fuel the train. So where do we want the actual stop? Maybe I can sort of use this area here for processing the oil. Because all we want to do is make a bit of the old blue science. There. I didn't grab any fluid wagons, did I? No. I use the quick bar constantly. I basically only have logistics buildings there, like belt, etc. Yeah, so a lot of players do, and I say it's not, I think that is a really good way of playing and like accessing the buttons and stuff. But I'm such a quick bar hot pick, whatever it's called, quick pick or whatever it's called, picker tool. That's just become such a thing for me, to the extent you'll often see me. If you see me like zooming out randomly, it's because the thing I want is not there. So say I'm here and I want a blue inserter. I'll zoom out, find a blue inserter and zoom back in again. And it's like it'd be way more efficient if I had just inserters and stuff here. Otherwise, I come into the inventory. But if you ever see me doing that, and I'll, quick pick and then zoom back in again, that's why. Because I'm just too lazy to set this up and think about it, basically. I say, never grab fluid wagons, did I? Or did I? No, so we only want one, really. Yeah, the Picador is like the best key in the whole game, yeah. It was a mod, wasn't it? I think somebody had put it in as a... Yeah, that's where it came from. I think. Okay. Put that there. That there. Bit of the old. Oops. Pump. And I guess maybe just sort of put one. Because all I want to do is run a belt over here. I don't need to stick it in a box or anything. Wait, I got a positioning all completely wrong, haven't I? If it was a belt, no, I'm not going to do that. If it was a belt, then that would be... So really that should be there. That's a bit annoying. Oh, let's just stick it in a box. Do. Wait. Okay. So it's a bit annoying. I've managed to put my brain. In fact, can I move it down? Let's just move it down. Painful this sort of thing, pre-bots. Get them soon. We'll get them soon. It's built in. Let's put that. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Where's my pump? There's my pump. It's the box. Don't need power. Where's the nearest power? Yeah, so we take it that way. Let's see where those go. First long power poles. In fact, it'd be better, wouldn't it, if this was actually running along the side of the rail. There. Somehow I've managed to get some wooden power bars, that's fine. Okay. Now, do we want to think about defending that? So the attacks are going to come from here, I think. Surprise attack from the bottom. Never a good situation. Limited, aren't they? Yeah. How much have we got in here? Not a lot. Let's put some in. And then this is going to be... Boop. And load. Let's just put the train in just for the sake of it. We want to avoid those trees, really, don't we? So, a bit further. Whoops. Oops. Come on. There we go. We think a bit early to turn still. But let's see if we can't. No, we won't yet. We'll avoid them trees, so we need to be sort of here-ish. No, too far. No. No. One of the things I never realised until, because curved rail used to be a separate piece, basically. It used to be an actual separate thing. You used to actually have to build straight rail and curved rail. And they were like, eventually, kind of went, well, why? It's just have them there. But what they did, how close are we going to get to these biters? Pretty close. What they did is they made it so that the curved rail, because they had different recipes and stuff, but the curved rail actually costs you multiple single pieces. So, say, a single piece, and then is 1, and then a curved rail is 4. And I never even realised that until very, very recently. Right, it's the middle of the night, and obviously what we want to do is annoy the natives by building a train track right next to the house, like you do. Good old colonial empire. Can't stop progress. Okay. Oops. Oops. Oh, actually. Here comes progress. I don't know why, but I'm under the impression that the new elevated rail pillars were 1 item for each direction. Maybe. I think you're right, actually. No, I... So as in, you mean... Yeah, I think you're right. So when you put... If you want to do a that and then a that, it would be 2 separate pillars. I think you're right. Yeah, I think the whole... they only hold up 1, don't they? And actually, they have quite a large footprint. Particularly when they're doing diagonals. Because it's like... something like that, isn't it? I can't remember that, because it showed it in the Friday facts, didn't it, with the belt round. Is it something like this? This was small, wasn't it? And these are the diagonal ones. I think the regular ones were more like... Yeah, the straight ones were... Are they there? 3 by 3? Something like that. But that means, therefore, that... So if that's going to have a rail going through it... I mean, the closest you... Because it was inside there. So it would be, that. Something like that, maybe? Maybe they were bigger. Maybe they were 4x4. I don't think they were 2x2. But that sort of implies that that's as close as you can get elevated rail. There's always going to be that gap in the middle. I'll have to have a look at that. I think you're right, yeah. Three bots, that sort of messing about. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. I mean, that every differently angled pillar was a different item recipe in the craft menu and inventory. A bit like the curve rail previously. I'm pretty sure I saw some confirmation this was fast. Yeah, no, I don't think that's. I think they just rotate. I don't think you know, they're different recipes or anything like that. I do think they are inconsistent in the size, as I say. That, you know, if you've got the angle, it's going to take up sort of more room. And also, as I say, that you can't sort of put them right next to each other. You're going to have a gap between your rails. But then visually, you probably want that anyway, because it might be a bit confusing if they're right next to each other. Right, so my absolute favourite activity in the game: setting up oil. Okay, let's put it on this side, I guess. I didn't build a second station, did I? And then this is not Austin McDonald. What is it? It is load. Okay. Just for the sake of it. So go to load, fill, and unload. Empty. Second tank tonight. So now this is going to be powered, so we don't have to worry. I need to build a pump. Right, so ideally, we'll feed into this. Might be a little tricky, given that that's overlapped. So perhaps there. Just there, maybe. No. That was like that, maybe. If I turn that round, I can connect there. What about you, though? There's always one, isn't there? Always one. Oops, like that. And these in. Yeah, that one feels like I've missed one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's cool. Okay. In, guess on that side maybe. That one. In fact, that could power. Yeah. Oh, and then a bit of lights. Let's put one. Oops. as well. Okay. Yeah, so I have put an X-ray con. We need a radar. Which would be better than the light, I think. Like that. Cool. So it won't kick in, obviously, until there's power. Which gives us a chance as well to set up some defences. I guess punch the trees back a little bit there, and then where are they going to be coming? They're not going to be coming in from this side, really. So it's really about doing sort of a half a box, really, isn't it? Difficult bit is that this is a kind of a gap in the one. But I guess we'll just have to live with it. And let's do that. So then take that. Oops, there. Have I got enough to double? I don't think I have. Yeah, maybe. I guess actually I could go like that a bit. In fact, why don't we wall it in completely? Or pretty much completely. Yeah, completely. Let's do it. So we don't have gates yet, but there we go. Let's do some turret jobs then. So maybe like that. And then what gives us good coverage? There maybe? Yeah. There. Do my usual sort of design really. Oh, I'll put them far over, haven't I? Lures. So it's got a bit of mutual coverage, right? There, say. Let's get the corner one. And get there. And then maybe sneak one in there. Yeah, do. Corner one. Actually, maybe do a straight one because I say we're not going to get attacked on that side. We'll just put one in because that goes up to where there. So if that's maybe there, just in case. And then we do want something here because we've got the hole in the wall. Put one there. And put one, guess there. Power should connect. We'll have. Oops. That was going this way. To bring the juice in. Put a power pole there, so it's definitely connected. this up. Trying to ensure a little bit of redundancy as well. Multiple connections. Cool. Yeah. We're doing turn-wise 545, so we're definitely not getting blue sites on the go. But we could get a bit of oil processing, so we're nearly there. Oops. I don't bring that much ammo with me, do I? Carried away with me, clicky. There. Just put these in. Messing about. Okay. So how many have I got? Well, I've got some. Swap that. So I got 2, 4, 5, got like nearly 500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10 things. I could put 50 in each in theory. Ish. So we've got a little bit of stockpile. Boop. 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 This is where my maths is revealed to be wonky. 50 there. So that'd be what? And then oops. What did I do there? Oh, I gave it to an inserter. And then we'll have this one have 40 because we know this is basically never going to see any action. Okay. Now, how much doubling up can I do? A bit, actually. So I'll double up along here. And then double up the old corners. This is most likely sort of attack angle. Double across here. I might get all of this done, actually. Yep. Cool. Have more wall than I thought, actually. Shall I fill this in then? Excellent. Right. We will run back the other way, or rather, drive back the other way. Oh, polling as we go. Whoops. Lost my concentration there. Suspect actually this is quite vulnerable to biters, but we'll have to see. Oh, and backwards please. There. Range. Okay, so let's just send you to unload. Off she pops. Already pollution. Things filling up and happening. They are. Is every pump jack pumping? It is. Excellent. Has every gun turret got gun turret stuff? Yes. Okay. Excellent. Right. Let us move some oil around. Just sort of put them in here, I guess. So a bit too, yeah, probably better to. Does that make range? It didn't feel like right. It was, yeah, that was okay. There. Okay. And then have that coming that way. Just do the one space, or one, you know, one pipe length, and then we'll line that up with that one. Oops. Wait, oh. It's not come back yet. I'm just thinking maybe I should put a tank on, shouldn't I? That's horrible. Okay. I don't see the train coming back. What are you waiting for? Okay. It's coming now. It's coming now. First oiled. Not bad going, I don't think. Second stream. How are we doing on time? 10 minutes to go. Okay. You've got oil in you. You're all working. Excellent. Now, I've not actually done blue science research. So I'm a bit ahead of myself. I guess we could set up like sulfur and stuff. Since we've done that research. Yeah, go on then. Just thinking might as well, you know, pause here basically. So we'll do a couple of them. Get ourselves set up. Stick it there. So this will need water. Oop. Which eventually will need connected to here. And amazingly, almost like I knew what I was doing, was doubtful, we are right next to some water. However, we do not have any protection. Do we need it? I think I'm going to stick in some turrets just here. I mean, what are the biters likely to do if we do get an attack coming in? They're going to come up here, potentially. Or come up there. And if they're coming that way, they're probably going to start attacking my power production rather than my refineries, aren't they? But, I don't know, we've got quite a lot of trees between us and them. Okay, let's pop in just a little bit of turret turret action over here. We'll use burners and stuff again. We've still got walls. And then box. So maybe we pop one in. I don't know. Let's take advantage of the water. Oops. Let's put half a thing in. Oh, I haven't got any ammo, have I? Of course. Of course. I once made a light and then saw the range it covered and never made another light again. Maybe I should make more lights next time. Wow. So you play basically in the dark, do you then? Until you get... I mean, do you use... what do you call it? Night vision goggles. You know, when you get them. Because you can get them fairly quickly. I mean, I could do modular armor and stuff now, but I'm just holding back, really. So now we're getting into the territory where you need, you know, proper, excuse me, scale science pack production, but only just, really. What am I doing? I am put some grenades in there, and some walls in there. So we've got them to go. This modular armor, I think, uses military. It says, not entirely sure. No, it doesn't. But something we really want does. It's explosives now. What was I thinking? What I need? Oh, it's the military. Oh no, well, we've got military too, haven't we? That doesn't require science packs. What was the thing I was thinking I needed for military? Because the legs don't and night vision doesn't. Maybe it's just the whole explosives thing. Or flamethrowers. Oh, I was going to use flamethrowers, wasn't I? That was it. So if we do flammables and doobies, we're going to douse the Vitas in holy promethium. Okay. I've lost track of what I was doing now. I know I was making sulfur, but I was over here for a reason. And that reason was ammo. Wow, we've even got 2 stacks of the red. Nice. Sometimes I've used night vision, but I don't like how it removes the few colours I barely can see. Mostly I've just played in the dark and being annoyed. Okay. The engineer invented light, so you don't have to be annoyed. I assume that means you're colourblind, are you? Oops. I think we might have discussed that before, actually, because I was saying about the fact that the, you know, red and green all the science packs are exactly the same icon. And I'm not entirely sure they've got the, is it gamma you call it, which is like the brightness? I don't think that's different, so they must look identical. Right. Let's just grab some more of this. And then a couple of them. A boop and a boop. And then a stack of coal. Bunch of magazines. I'm not going to put walls around that one because it's got trees. Let's put, I guess, a thing here. Might as well do electric trickery. And then walls. I'm doing my whole being paranoid thing again, aren't I? About the whole biter attacks. Because We'd not I mean, we'd literally had, I think, one, and I went and wiped out the actual nest, so this is a bit sort of pointless, really. Until we actually start getting attacks coming in. There's not a lot of time, not a lot of point spending the time doing walls, really. Because you can set loads and loads of them up, and then they never get, you know, a single attack. Because it's too difficult to predict, really, where the pollution will actually trigger things, or, you know. Let's do a couple more of the old burner jobs. Cool. And it will just... Speaking of paranoia, one around there. In fact, that's missed. No, I meant that the night vision makes it more grayscale. Oh, I see. Sorry, I see what you mean. The most important thing I've learned in Factorio is that you can never be too paranoid about fighters. Even if I think I've exaggerated my defense, I will get stumped quite often. I don't know. Part of the thing, there's almost like, you know, I've only literally been playing. I mean, and I've been nattering away, haven't I? You know, within what are we now? Just 6 hours, I'm already at blue science, and I'm not actually. One of the things is, if you know are a bit worried about them, then make sure you play on a bit of grassland with some trees around it, because look at that. It's not. You know, there was a nest here, wasn't there, or something, and that's it. And I killed one here because I knew that the oil would hit them. And where was the other one? I took one out there just because I was driving past and I wanted to do some violence, basically. So, you know, that's all the biters we've had to deal with. One attack that came in, and a few things. So, and that's with the default setting. You know, this isn't far, as it were. So, at this stage, you know, I mean, yeah, paranoia isn't against, isn't a bad idea necessarily, but. I've spent sometimes in my games I've spent a long time setting up very early defences and then never faced an attack. And it's really more once we get into proper science production. Because the point of this base, really, what we're doing here, hopefully, maybe, possibly-ish, we might be able to get us to bots. I probably need to do a bit of expansion, but we should probably able to get to bots. Obviously, we won't get all of the loggy stuff because we need gold. Sorry, for loggy chests of all description. If we can get bots, then it makes my life a lot easier. So yeah, that's really the goal that we're going for here: is bot rush, basically. Get us some bots. Where's the train gone? Oh, there it is. Get us some bots, and then. We'll actually build an actual base. This is starter base number 1. I never finished that, and if I don't do it, I will forget. Grid circuits are ready. What am I after? A offshore pump. Okay. So yeah, I mean, to say later on. You know, we do want proper defences all over the shop, but early on, paranoia is just that, basically, in my experience. But yeah, we will obviously need proper defences in not too distant future, especially once we start doing a lot of oil stuff. There'll probably be attacks coming in by the dozen, I imagine. Okay, that's not connected. Haven't made any sulfur yet. And yeah, as I say, very first time I played, it was like, oh my god, what are these horrible monsters coming to, you know, coming to attack me? There we are. That's our first sulfur. I have not got any inserters. Cool. I think it's related to how I also exaggerate in the mining and smelting quite abruptly. That attracts a lot of them at the same time. Yeah, people do tend to... I do understand the impetus for it. It's like, particularly, you know, you see a lot of streamers doing it as well. Not streamers as much. I mean, yes, but like, you know, people will build full arrays, you know. They'll build full-on 48. Oh, I've messed something up there, haven't I? Yeah, I've got the belt the wrong way around. Just one piece of belt. Let's go and fix that while in that just as we finish off. But they'll build the full 48 array, you know, iron, smelting, all that sort of stuff. And it's fine. But look at all my belts now. They're just completely saturated. Because very much in early game, and especially if you build like gradually like this. I haven't got any radars down. I'm going to pop a radar on as well. It's like you need a bunch of material and then you don't need anything. And then you need... It's almost like I was saying about SpaceX, where I went way overboard in the base that I built on Nalvis. And what I should have been doing is maybe pushing on more with the space sciences, basically, because I've ended up with this gigantic base that needs all these resources to feed it. Mostly it's sat there idle, and it's the same with this. It's like all of these machines are basically sat here idle now, because I only need rail when I'm building rail. So once it's filled up a box, that's it, it's done. And that's the only thing. You don't really need... I mean, I have, obviously, with the iron, because you need more of that. But copper, there's loads of copper weight in there. And I've got... So I've got this far into the game with... What's that? 24. So it's not even... It's a half stack. What have we got here? 63. So that's a stack and a half of iron. And then what have we got? I guess that's half. So 24 steel. You don't need as much production as people think. It's, which isn't, it's not, you can fill your miners with, fill your patches of miners and all that sort of stuff. You're going to use them resources. It's just, you don't need them yet, But then that's my whole thing. We were saying this before, where the whole pushing on is like what I'm really good at with the early and mid game. Or early game in particular. But what we'll find is I'll reach a point where it's like, I want to build big, or I want to build a proper base, and it involves then producing like thousands of belts and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to try and not be quite so big with what I build, and just build it a bit more scale. It's like we don't need... I always go for blue belts and stack inserters and that sort of thing. You don't really need them to finish the game. So I'm going to try and like rein it back a bit, basically. Why not expand the smelting lines to work for 4 red belts and advanced smelters? Oh, that's why, as usual. Yeah. Well, so, eventually you'll need that sort of volume, but, it doesn't come till later in the game. And as I say, you can finish the entire thing. In fact, people make mega bases with red belts. Blue belts are, like, horrendously expensive, really, when you think about it. And I don't think they ever really intended people to build entire bases just with blue belts. It's just that, I know I do, and a lot of players, you get to a point where having loads and loads of different belts in your inventory is actually a bit painful. And like yellow inserters, I should use yellow inserters more, because if it does the job, that's fine, and it's a lot less power draw, Because what's that? Max consumption 13.6, max consumption 46.7. So it's not even 26, it's like 4 times as much power, is it? And the minimum, every single blue inserter is 100 watts more that you got to have as your minimum power. So, but you get to a point where it's like having all of the different inserters, all of the different belts, is just too annoying to manage in your inventory. So I just end up going blue belt usually, and stack and fast inserters. Especially once we've got nuclear power, etc. Right, so that's it for today. I am going to nip up here, and we will put... Let's use a blue assembler. But we'll put an assembler down, like we did last time. But let's just put it here, just as an aide memoire, so that we remember we are on blue science. Let's put the old schedule up. Yeah, there we go. So that's it for this week. That's it for today. That's it for this week, basically. So As the schedule says there, the plan is to play SpaceX on Saturdays and this vanilla farewell to vanilla playthrough on the Sundays. The only plans are that SpaceX, I would like to get to like the space elevator. Obviously, we've got a spaceship now from the asteroid belt, but I'd quite like to have the spaceship tech properly and mess about with that. If we can get both of those done, I will consider that series a success. I'm not under any illusions that I'll get anywhere near finishing it as a series before Space Age comes out. But I think that gives me a good flavour of some of the more fun stuff that might also feature in Space Age. I'm also not fussed. If we don't get to either of those, then I'm not fussed. I've got enough of a feel of what it's about, as it were, even if we don't get any of the cool stuff. This series, the only plan is to launch the rocket, basically. So, we'll get to enough production that we can launch a rocket. I have not done any calculator stuff. I'm trying to play it as organically as I can, but obviously I do have a couple of thousand hours of knowledge of the game, so fairly experienced at doing that, which means that we should be able to get that done before Space Age comes out. Obviously, when Space Age hits, all my content will flip to that, basically. So yeah, that's the plans for this series and that one, and they will just Saturdays and Sundays as we go. Yes, the other thing I usually note if you are new here is that I have a YouTube channel, and that has VODs for all of my series that I've done. So all of the Factorio ones, which there's loads, lots of modded, your Bobs, your Angels, your Crash Story 2 series where I did like an aesthetic builds, which will return once I'm familiar with Space Age, and Blueprint series, No Spoon Run, all sorts of Factorio, or Mega Base, obviously. And then other building and management games. So Tectonica, Dice Program, several series of that, and Satisfactory. Satisfactory obviously comes out in 1.0, it's only 6 weeks or something now, isn't it? That's beginning of September. But I will not be playing that on stream. I'm sure I'll play it personally. I did wonder about maybe doing something multiplayer, because I obviously have a Discord technically, but I just don't use it. And we could maybe do something multiplayer, and I could do a stream of that maybe if it's all messing about. I don't know. It was just a thought, but I will not be streaming it as a series because I would just disappear under all of the people that are playing, and I'm sure I will play it on in my personal time, but I might do a series of that in the dim and distant future, next year, maybe something like that. But there is also a big update to Tectonica coming, I think due maybe around Christmas, and I suspect Dyson Sphere Program will get its next combat update at Christmas as well, so I could do a series of those depending on how Space Age goes, but that's going to be the focus of the channel. YouTube then also has my Friday Facts videos. Every Friday I do a sort of read through, analysis and speculation. I try to go fairly deep, so I try to explain some of the context, some of the things that they're talking about, some of the techie stuff where I can, because I do have a sort of a little bit of a background in programming and just am generally a massive nerd about a load of techie stuff. So try and do that, but also speculate about what's coming up in Space Age, which we're getting very close and we know a heck of a lot, but we also don't know a heck of a lot. So yeah. Also has my wild speculation video series as well, where I go more off-piste and just come up with ideas. They were a lot of fun to do. I love doing them, and people do seem to enjoy them. So if you're new here, as I say, and you think that might be something you might enjoy, then do check out my YouTube channel. There is a playlist of all of those available. It's getting quite long, these self-promo things now, aren't they? Loads of stuff to talk about. So yes, so that is it for this week. If you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it. You might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.